Sung Shai instructs everyone to stay where they are, as the statue will surely attack again if they move. Juhee is too terrified to move, and Sung Shai disobeys his own orders to tell Jinwoo that he did a good job. If he hadn't noticed what was happening, then they would have all lost their lives. Sung Shai is a seriously tough guy, and Jinwoo is shocked to see that he is now one arm short. Jinwoo must stop the bleeding for him, as their healer, Juhee, is in a fetal position because she can't handle the pressure. She is actually a B-rank healer, but her cowardice makes it so she can only participate in easy raids. Sung Shai has taken part in many B-rank raids himself, so he can tell that this statue is an A rank or maybe even an S rank. The tablet had things written about praising God or there would be consequences. So Jinwoo determined that this god it spoke of must be the statue. We then learned that 10 years ago, portals appeared all over the place and gave the world a number of supernatural phenomena. An example of this are the people who awaken to special powers known as hunters. They are tasked with defeating the monsters and the dungeons, and a hunter's power, once active, never changes. At school, Jinwoo's sister tells some girls about how her brother's always getting hurt. This girl can't believe that Jinwoo is a hunter, and she remarks that she would be a better hunter than him. Back in the dungeon, Song Kai wants to think of a plan to get out, but some dude gets really impatient. He just signed a contract to join some famous guild, so he can't afford to die there. This guy is confident that with his insane speed, he can get away. This guy really does have amazing speed as he takes off running, but the statue absolutely disintegrates him, leaving only his really fast feet behind. This makes it pretty clear that this statue could wipe them out in an instant if it wanted to, and it would be easy for it to. That begs the question, why doesn't it just do it? Jinwoo realizes that it must have something to do with the first commandment, which is to revere God. Jinwoo stands up, as he has come up with an idea, and gets a really determined look on his face. Sung Shai is concerned but is amazed to see that, from the look in Jinwoo's eyes, he hasn't given up on surviving this ordeal. Jinwoo looks the statue right in the eyes, but manages to stop it from attacking. At the very last moment, he has figured something out and tells everyone to bow their heads. Jinwoo assumes that reverence for God means that as long as they keep their heads low, it won't attack. Everyone else is too dumb to think of another plan, so they all bow down to the statue. They're all terrified, as they can't see much and wonder if this will really be enough. Everyone freaks out when the statue makes a terrifying face. Pork Chop Sideburns gets up against everyone's recommendation, and he gets all excited because the statue isn't attacking anymore. Everyone follows his lead, but Jinwoo feels like there is more to this. Then the statue shockingly stands up. The team's supposed leader turns to Jinwoo now, as he hopes that he has some kind of plan. Unfortunately, Jinwoo doesn't, but he is certain that they can't break the commandments set by the tablet. The second commandment was to praise God. So one brave, long-haired man steps forward to give something a try. He begins to pray to this thing, and everyone thinks it's working as the monster slows down. Jinwoo knows better and reveals that the guy's words don't apply to this god. The statue instantly stomps on this poor guy, and everyone freaks out. Absolute mayhem breaks out as some side character girl gets crushed, and everyone decides it would be best to spread out. Hawks thinks about how he can't leave his family without a father, but he picks the wrong place to stay still as another statue slices him in two. As Jinwoo runs with Juhee, he desperately tries to think of the meaning behind praising God. This monster is practically the devil, so he can't think of anything to praise about it. But what he does know is that he can't leave Juhee alone. As everyone loses their lives around them, Jinwoo frantically searches for clues as he looks at everything the statues are holding. He comes up with an idea and tells everyone to go to the statues that are holding instruments. Everyone does just that, and it becomes clear that these statues don't attack. Instead, they play their instrument. The one Jinwoo arrives at doesn't play its music, so it becomes clear that it doesn't work with two people. After Jinwoo leaves Juhee, the statue plays music, and Jinwoo rushes to find his own statue. The giant statue nearly crushes him, but a screen points out that Jinwoo has landed in front of the wrong statue. The statue slams its shield right on top of him, causing Juhee to scream out to Jinwoo. Jinwoo is still alive, but in really bad shape. He is determined not to give up, but the giant prepares to end his life once and for all. Jinwoo refuses to die as the giant slams its foot down, but a statue begins to sing, and we see that Jinwoo made it to a statue just in time. He realizes that this is what it means to praise God, and the giant statue takes its seat. Jinwoo tells Juhee that he is fine, but she is stunned to see that his foot was ripped off. He tries to tell Juhee that he will be fine, but she refuses to listen. She is determined to heal him, but her body begins to fail. Everyone is stunned to see how horrifyingly terrible the raid has gone. One guy even told Songshai that losing his arm was karma for leading them down this path as their leader. The others think that's a bit too harsh, but Songshai takes full responsibility. Jinwoo is way smarter than all these people, as he knows that there's no time to be fighting since there is still one more commandment left. Just then, the giant raises an altar at the center of the room. Jinwoo knows them well from legends where they are used for offering treasure and sacrifices to the gods. The third commandment was to prove your faith to God. Kim assumes that the sacrifice must be someone's life, and he couldn't think of a better candidate than their leader. They have all had to witness the deaths of their team, and Songshai is the one responsible. Songshai decides to go to the altar, but Jinwoo points out that it isn't all his fault since they voted to come down there. A fire appears as Songshai approaches the altar, and he asks Jinwoo if there's something else he needs to do. Jinwoo is not only the smartest of the bunch, he is also the bravest, as he asks the others to help him get to the altar so he could examine it. Jinwoo doesn't think anything bad will happen to them, so they take him and they find that more flames appear. Songshai keeps asking Jinwoo for answers, but he hasn't come up with anything yet. Songshai explains that the gate has been open for a week, so the statues will likely start moving again before anyone comes to rescue them. Jinwoo recalls how it takes 7 days for a gate to open all the way, and that is called the dungeon break. When that happens, the beasts are able to cross over to the other side. One of the main objectives of raids is to defeat the dungeon boss and shut the gate down before that time is up. This means that if they fail to defeat this boss now, then that terrifying giant will be able to enter their world. Back in their world, Gina goes to see Jinwoo's mother. She chats it up with her, but their mother is in really bad shape. In the dungeon, Jinwoo tells the cowards of the group to come towards the altar since he predicts that they need a flame to light up for each person. Once they do, more flames appear, and the door opens right up. They fear that it might be a trap, and the other statue shockingly begins to start moving towards them. Everyone panics, but Jinwoo keeps his calm to analyze the situation. This absolute genius realizes something else and tells everyone to keep their eyes open, as the statues won't move if they are watching them. Everyone listens to his orders, and it surprisingly works. Everyone does their best to keep their eyes on the terrifying statues, but one woman succumbs to fear and tries to run for the door. The second she crosses the circle, her fire goes out, but she does manage to run out the door. Songshai can't understand what's happening. The door clearly closed a bit, but the girl did seem to make it out. He thought they needed to stay in the circle, so of course he turns to Jinwoo for answers. Jinwoo was just as confused, but he once again analyzed everything. The blue flames had been dying out over time. One of the orange ones went out when someone escaped. The first order was to revere, the second was to praise, and the third was to prove their faith. Jinwoo was certain that the door must be a trap. The situation is causing danger and fear, and now offers a false sense of hope. This makes him wonder if it's testing their faith in this god. Jinwoo is tossed to the ground as the next idiot decides to make a run for it. And the same thing happens. His flame goes out, the door closes a bit, and he seems to escape. Kim has thoughts of leaving, but Jinwoo warns everyone not to move. If anyone else leaves, they won't have enough eyes to keep the statues from moving. He reminds everyone that, as long as they keep their eyes on the statues and don't move, they will be safe. Jinwoo shows more of his deduction skills as he has determined that the blue flames serve as a timer, and when they are all gone, they will be able to leave. Kim points out that there is also a chance that they will just get trapped when the timer runs out. He concedes that he didn't expect Jinwoo, who is their weakest member, to have pulled off as much as he has. The only reason they are alive now is because of him. However, Kim has a family waiting for him, and he doesn't want to die. He just wants to make it home and can't risk Jinwoo being wrong. Kim apologizes and runs out the door with not enough eyes to keep watch of all the statues. They begin to move again. Jinwoo still refuses to lose his life here and reminds himself that he has managed to make it out of tough situations before. Things are clearly worse than ever, and Songshai shockingly tells Jinwoo and Juhee to leave. He predicts that the door will stay open as long as one person remains by the altar. The two of them have long lives to live, so he insists that they should be the ones to go. Songshai wants Juhee to look after Jinwoo, but her legs give out on her. Things couldn't possibly get any worse, and Songshai realizes that Juhee must have overexerted herself while healing Jinwoo. Things have taken quite a turn, so Jinwoo tells them to leave him behind. Juhee needs someone to carry her out of there, and Songshai is the only one with 2 working feet. Juhee thinks she should be the one to be left behind, but Jinwoo reminds her that he promised to take her out to lunch. He gives her his gem so she can buy a meal with it and promises to get the change. When he gets out of the dungeon, Juhee refuses to leave him behind, but Songshai apologizes and knocks her lights out as they really are out of time. He apologizes to Jinwoo as well and leaves him behind to take Juhee to safety. Jinwoo can at least take solace in knowing that he will be the only one who has to die, and his only regret is that he didn't take out a better life insurance policy. Jinwoo grabs a hold of a sword, as he is determined to at least take one of these statues down with him, and tells them to bring it on. The statues savagely start attacking him.
何度も何度も馬鹿にされてきた。でも必死にこれまでやって。避けるなでもなれなかった。
And Jinwoo gets tossed around as he struggles to survive. Jinwoo thinks about how he has always been the weakest. He has been mocked for it time and time again, but he has always tried as hard as he could. These statues are relentless as they cut off one of his arms, and Jinwoo screams in agony. Jinwoo is furious that it has to end this way since he tried so hard to be stronger. The statues cause him even more pain and thrash him about further. Jinwoo continues to think about how, even though he failed to get stronger, he still gave it his all to get this far. Jinwoo motions to yell in anger one more time, but he can't even do that as he is stabbed through the chest. Jinwoo was just barely alive, but rage overwhelms him as he thinks about the first few people that ran from the altar. They said they just couldn't take it anymore, but Jinwoo points out that they all felt that way, and all they were doing was justifying their own selfishness. The supposed gratitude they felt was superficial, and it's always the most selfish people who benefit the most. Rage fills him even more as he thinks about how he has family too, and he wanted to make it home alive, just like they did. He screams in pain as these statues torment him even more, and Jinwoo begins to wonder if it's really a good thing that he's the only one that has to die.
死ぬのが俺一人でよかった。
As Jinwoo's tattered body lies on the altar, he wonders how he could have fought that way and calls himself a hypocrite. Jinwoo tries to breathe and thinks about how he doesn't want to die. The final attack comes crashing down on him, and Jinwoo wishes that he could just have one more chance. The final blue flame goes out, but a mysterious notification pops up, revealing that a secret quest called Courage of the Weak has been completed. The qualifications to be a player have been acquired, and it asks for them to be accepted. The player's heart will stop in a fraction of a second if it is not accepted, and the button saying yes is pressed. I appreciate you viewing my anime recap, Unruly Family. Please let me know what you think about the second part of Solo Leveling by liking, sharing, subscribing, and leaving a comment.